Hi, everybody. I'm Sharon, the accidental art maker, and welcome to my show. It's really great for you to be here. Let me know if you can hear me. If you're showing up in replay, hit up replay. Let me know where you're coming in from. Put your questions in the comments, and I will answer them to the best of my capability. So I was showing my my website where I sell IOD products to one of my best friends, and she was like, "It's great, but I have no idea where to start, and I want to know what to do with the products. I know you do a lot of things with them, but where do I start?" And I was like, "Duh! I've been doing this for years, and I needed that shift in perspective to remind me that." People may be really interested in this, but they really don't know where to start. There's awesome videos by the IOD sisters and other stockists too. But I thought for my website, I don't have any of my own material or content on there showing you guys how to just get started and just to kind of dive in. So as I'm walking through this right here, if you have any questions, put them in the comments and I will answer them for you. So I started painting furniture about 7 years ago. I upcycled anything I could find on the side of the road at garage sales and on buy nothing groups. And did that for many years and stuck to paint and stencils. And about 2 years ago, I came across Iron Orchid Design's products and I fell in love with them and started putting them on all my furniture. And it was awesome. It really was a game changer for me. And then the pandemic hit. And I usually paint in the summer in my garage. And in the wintertime, I just shut the studio down because between taking kids to different places, commuting to work, I just have no time or space to paint in the wintertime. But I knew during that first lockdown, I just knew I needed to keep painting. So I needed to bring it inside and do smaller pieces. So what I'm going to show you tonight is some of the things that I do to paint smaller pieces. What you're looking at right here, I'm just going to switch on over to the large screen right here. So this is a stamp and a transfer and a bunch of chalk paint all mixed up together. It's the stamp called Kindest Regards. You can kind of see a little bit of the writing in here in the background. And then this is a transfer called Wander. There's probably about 4 different colors of paint on this. I did a blend from like purple to a hot pink, and there's some orange mixed in, and then I blended that out like across the sides. This is originally a 70s picture. I'll tell you what it is. It's kind of funny. Underneath here is a picture of a naked woman, but from the 70s, and it's brown tones, gray. It's like the saddest naked woman you've ever seen in your entire life. And I was like, okay, Goodwill, thank you. I'm buying this. And I brought it home and I IOD'd it, and here we are. So, this is probably after about 4 or 5 months working with IOD. I started much simpler than this, and I'm going to take you through some very simple approaches today for you to try your first project if you haven't tried one yet before. Okay, so first I'm going to take you through stamps. So this is one of my favorite stamps right here. It's called Bohemia. And when you get your stamps, they come in a package like this. They're all nice and clean. And I'll give you a little peek. This is what my stamp looks like about 2 years later. As you can tell, it is well loved right here. So when you first get your stamp, you take it out of the package, you peel them off. It's really hard, and you're thinking, oh my God, I got a defect. No, that's the way it is. And you do a light sanding with it. I'll post a link to a video on the IOD site so you can learn a little bit more about when you first take your stamps out. It's really simple to do. You sand it one direction, turn it, and you sand it in another, and you're ready to go. And so here is my Bohemia stamp. I want to show you one more of my favorite stamps. This is Kind Disregard right here. This is another one of my favorite stamps, especially for the background. And if I were to recommend stamps to start with, it would probably be one of these two. Then again, if you want to throw caution to the wind, I would just pick one that you love and that you think you're going to use forever that makes you happy. Because that's how I started out. All right, so here's Bohemia right here, and I've got a couple of little samples here to show you. So this is, I'm going to be stamping for you too, so don't worry. So here's like one stamp right here. Here's black on white, so you can kind of get a sense of the stamp there, and you can definitely see it right there. This is what it looks like, white on black, right here. And then this stamp, both of these actually, we'll be coming back to these boards in a minute, which, by the way, I got from the dollar store for $1 each. Great to practice on. Again, a couple different colors of paint. And then this is Kind Disregards, stamped on with black ink on top. We'll come back to this in a few minutes. We're going to put transfers on top while we're waiting for the paint to dry from the stamps. So before the show, I painted this wooden gallery board that you can find on my website or any of your stockist site. It's just a wood gallery board, and I painted it 3 different colors. There's like this pink in the background, and I did a very quick blend from green to white. And as you can see, it's something you probably would not want to hang on your refrigerator. But don't worry, we're going to be changing that with stamps and transfers. So the way that I generally approach a project is, which direction do I want this? Do I want horizontal or vertical? And I know for this one, this is going to be my bottom here, and I want it horizontal. And I'm going to be putting the stamp across something like that across the bottom. And then I really like the arrows. I've been into the arrows lately, and I'll probably do these arrows up on top and across. And I'll do one in paint and one in ink. I'm going to set it aside to dry, and then we're going to move on to transfers. I'm going to give you a quick demo on transfers, and hopefully we'll have enough time for this to dry, come back to it, and put a transfer on the finished project so you can see it kind of transform from this to something a little bit prettier. Okay, let's get moving. All right, so I like to reuse things as much as possible. I don't like to throw away plastic after just using them once. This is a lid from like a Rubbermaid shoe container. I don't have the shoe container, but I kept the lid right here. I'm going to squirt a little bit of paint on this and roll it out. So there's a little bit of green. I've got my handy dandy roller. I know a lot of the stockists and other people who use, I put too much paint on this, who use, who do their stamping, like to use the hard, I think the pronounced briars instead, with the hard rubber. I like a hard foam. I feel like I have better control over the paint. The trick is not to press down too hard and not to get too much paint on your roller or your brayer, whatever you decide to use. So here's my stamp right here. Just a gentle application of the paint like this. It's already looking beautiful to me, but I'm a little bit prejudiced when it comes to these stamps. So I could come in and start right here, but then I've got this little awkward piece over here. So I'm going to just start a little bit off center, and I just press it down. You hold it down with one hand and press with the other. press here. Now this does wrap around. If I want to, I could press here on the side, just add a little bit extra something on the side. And I'm going to peel it up and look, very pretty. All right, and then I'm going to come back in here. I'm just going to do a little bit over here as well. And you see where this line loops? Now I'm going to take the stamp right here and connect it so it looks like an ongoing loop. And I know it goes on the bottom. I connect that, yeah, best I can. And again, hold it down, press it like that. Maybe a little bit along the side. Peel it up, and voila. So now, hold this a little bit closer to the camera. You can kind of see how that's changing. That almost looks like a cloud on top now. I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep going with it. All right. Now I got this stamp with paint on it. You take, until you can get to an actual sink, grab a baby wipe and just do a quick wipe so that the paint or the ink doesn't stick around and get dry on your stamp. You don't want that. Okay. And now you see here, I got a lot of extra leftover paint. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Stick around and find out. All right, but for now, I am putting it back here. And now I've got my arrows, and I'm going to show you how to use an ink pad. So you got an IOD, you can see that well, ink pad, yeah. And I got this bottle of ink that I've had forever. Watch it run out on this show. Anyways, so new ink pads, when you first get them, they're blank. There's lots of different color IOD inks that you can use. And you want to get your ink in there. Get it all nice and juicy. I'm just going to rub around in here. So when you get the ink and the ink pads, it may seem a little bit pricey at first, but it's an awesome investment. Literally, I've had this bottle for 2 years and I've been using, I started off with black ink. I got blue. I mixed black and blue together. And then I started with different colors of ink. And I haven't had to rebuy them in 2 years. So it's an investment up front. And then it just is one of those extra things in addition to chalk paint that gives you a few more options. All right. So I want that to absorb more so it doesn't get all splotchy. I think what I might just do, it's getting in there. All right. So I think I showed you that's ink right there. Ink is just another dimension. It's just another way to add some different details to your artwork in a different medium. So I'm all paint right now. I'm going to put some ink on top, and then we're going to get to putting a transfer on here, and you can kind of get an idea of what all three look like. So here's my ink pad. I would normally like it to sit another minute or two before I start stamping, but in the interest of time, I'm just going to go for it. You're not cramming down. These stamps have grooves. It's kind of hard to tell here. Let me get a little bit closer in the camera. But you just stamp gently like this. We also have these sheets called thin mounts. That's for when you're ready to step up your game and stamping a little bit. And I can do another show on thin mounts at another time. But here's my stamp with the ink on it. And now it's like, I think what I'm going to do is have them point in here like this. And again, just pressing it down. I'm really hoping that the black over the whitish greenish cloud here pops up a little bit. I'm going to peel back, and there you go. Ink up again. See, I'm a little bit at an angle right there, but you know, it happens. It doesn't have to be parallel and perfect. Okay, I'm gonna let these just overlap just a little bit in the middle there so I can get these endpoints on here. And I'm holding the stamp down with one hand while I press with the other. Okay, so there we go. I would probably do more if I wasn't doing a show right now with you. In fact, I'm just going to do a little bit because I can't help myself. A little bit more ink here. I think what I want to do is I'm going to see. I'll just do this down here so you can kind of see what this looks like over another stamp. It's all right. Nah, it's all right. And then sometimes what I'll do is you can see here on the side of this frame, you can do your stamp along the way here. It adds some extra unique little sides to your framework here. Like this. All right. I'm gonna get my wipe the stamp, ink off the stamp. Okay. I'm gonna put this aside to dry. And now we're gonna move on to transfers. So here is the transfer called Wander. I did want to show you most of the IOD transfers come in a 12 by 16 sheets. Some still come in these big containers. So this is all one sheet of a transfer, and it's gorgeous. It's one of my favorites, Japonica. I waited for the perfect frame and laid it all down at once on a frame, and it sold quickly and for cash. All right, now I'm gonna I just want to open this up and show this to you so you can see what it looks like on the inside when you get it, because it's kind of hard to tell from the website when you're looking at the pictures, like what exactly am I looking like until you actually get it in your hands and open it. But if you've never seen one before, you get these sheets. Let's go. All right, so I'm just gonna open it here for you. So I love these. So let me do it this way so you can see them better. So you've got this grid which helps you line it up. You've got these different transfers that you can use the whole thing on one piece. There's some amazing pieces of furniture out there with this transfer on it. You can cut out and just use a little bit of elements here or there. These flowers, to me, I love this illustration. It just seems so happy, and the flowers just seem very playful to me, and it always cheers me up when I'm looking at Wander. Okay, so that's what it looks like when you get it. You can cut it out, like I said, and use it in sheets. I have an example here of, so I've cut these out. These are some leftovers from another project that I did right here. I'm going to put them aside because I'm really hoping that we can use them on the dry piece I was showing you earlier. So here's some other transfers that we have. We have frogs and butterflies, and there's a beetle in here somewhere. And then you can see this. This was from our summertime release called English Toil. And it's actually this beautiful black and white pattern that you can put like on the back of a bookshelf or on a table. And it's this toil pattern. I did a table in it this summer and I had some leftovers. So I've been using them as ways to show people how to do a transfer. So let's see here. Whoop, that was not smart. You can see the black blotch I have over here, but I left my ink pad upside down. But oh well, that's the way it goes. All right, so with your transfers come these sticks. And let's see here. It's pretty simple. So I've painted this with the two different colors. I put the ink on top and I carefully put a top coat on top of that. The top coat helps the transfer go on smoother. I'm not going to have a top coat on the piece that I'm demoing to you with. So it just peels off like this. I'm going to put this one right in the middle. So it might take a little bit longer to do, but that's okay. You can get the idea. So, and then you just start rubbing. And it transfers from the plastic sheet to this little frame right here. If you can hear that noise, that's kind of the sound of the transfer releasing the image to the painted piece underneath. Kids love doing this. They love the transformation it makes. I love it too. Maybe I'm just a big kid, but anyways. And there you go. And then you want to burnish it down just a little bit. Gently go over it like that. Make sure it's all smoothed down. And that's one stamp and one piece of one transfer right there on a piece of wood from the dollar board from the dollar store. So yeah, I mean, that's just simple and pretty, and these can make wonderful gifts to or stocking stuffers if you wanted. I'm going to do one more. I don't know. I was thinking about saving the frog for this other piece over here, so I'm going to actually keep the frog out of circulation here. Let's see here. This one will probably be hard to see on the dark. Let's just give it a shot and see what happens. So this is English Toil. And it could be I end up using both of them and maybe adding some more color to this. All right. So here's the transfers going down. I'm just going to start rubbing up here in this corner. When you first start doing transfers, it probably will take you some time just to kind of get the hang and the feel of it. It's just normal learning curve stuff. How am I doing on time? 23 minutes. Okay, I was trying to be done in 30 minutes. Maybe we can still get that done. Okay. Let's see here. I can kind of feel it's still a little bit stuck there. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, right there. All right. You can kind of see that abrupt edge up there because it's where it cut off. So that's where you could come in, let's just say like with a leaf or another pattern like this. So you can come in here and keep working on it until you get in there. So I would definitely keep working on this one. This one is not finished for sure, but it gives you an idea of how to, give you an idea how to put the transfer down. So transfer on stamp. All right, let's go back to this piece right here. And it feels pretty dry. So we're just going to go for it. Like I said, this does not have a top coat on it. A top coat's like a protective clear coating, usually put on a mat so it's not too shiny. I know I want wander on it, and maybe this frog. I might just use this frog to cover up the stamp down here I'm not so hot about anymore. Like he's looking off into the distance, and he's got some pretty flowers growing up behind him, flowing up behind him. So let's see here. I'm going to cut this just a little bit. I like to kind of get an idea of placement ahead of time, and I can play around with this for a while, but since we don't have a lot of time here, I know I did want to do one from bottom to top, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this. Okay, we'll see if the frog makes the cut. All right, so here's my transfer, nice big piece. Peel off the back. I'm not going to lay it down just yet. I'm going to hover it above. There's like brush strokes in here. I don't want to be popping up too much. Like I said, I wasn't too much of a fan of this stamp down here. You know, so that looks kind of cool. I'm going to go for this. Crossing my fingers, it sticks. I didn't know about using a top coat until like I was a year into doing this. So I went without a top coat for a while and struggled. All right, there we go. If you guys are watching this on the replay, let me know in the comments where you're watching from and if you have any questions. I'll be back on answering this. All right, let's take a quick little peek. All right, so it is definitely laying down. A little bit of elbow grease. All right, and I moved it around a little bit, but I didn't break it. Went back into place. Sometimes if you get too rough, it shifts a little bit and it breaks. And you can just move it back on top and fix it. That way it's not a big deal. Maybe a little bit of paint. Let's see here. I will be going back and checking out this video and seeing how I can make it better. So if you guys have any constructive criticism to offer, we'd love to hear that as well. Because I really want to make this joyful for you. A great experience. I just love doing this so much. So you can kind of tell here. There's a little bit of a break right in there, but I can fix that, no problem. And then you got these abrupt endings here, but I'll turn around so that's more in the camera. But you can see how I've already changed this board with some color paint and some stamps, and now this transfer. I really do like the idea of putting the frog in here, but maybe not. I don't know. Like he doesn't go or she doesn't go, but sometimes that works. And I do have more of this to add. It still needs like a central something, a focal point right here in the middle. So I don't know what that is yet. So I'm going to keep working on this, and I'll post the finished product on my website, or my Facebook page too, so you can kind of see what the ending looks like and where I ended up with. Thanks for watching this whole thing. If you made it this far, I am new at this. I appreciate your patience, and hope you guys have a great weekend. If you have any questions about IOD or the products, anything at all, ask me. If I don't know the answer, I'll find it out for you. This is such a great, fun way to be creative and express yourself and share your love of art with other people. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Talk to you all later. Bye.